start with the prayers. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupaya Kadamahyam Dadanti Swapadantikam Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschata Deshatarine Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shrivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shrivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Hara Haraya Nama Krishna Yadavaya Namaha Yadavaya Madhavaya Govindaya Namaha Sri Krishna Hari Bol Gopala Hari Bol Radha Ramana Govinda Hari Bol Jaya Radha Govinda Radhe Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Panchatattva Jaya Panchatattva Jaya Panchatattva Jaya Prabhupada Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Nitai Gaura Haribo Nitai Gaura Haribol Haribol Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Welcome you all to the Dashavatara class. Today we'll be winding up with the two avatars, Lord Buddha and Lord Kalki. Okay, Hare Krishna. Yeah. Jayadeva Goswami in his Gita Govinda has sung as follows. The Lord has saved the Vedas in the form of a fish that we have seen in the Matsyavatara, and he has borne as the whole universe on his back in the form of a tortoise, that is in Kurma Avatara, and he has picked up the earthly planet from the water in the form of a boat, that is Varaha Avatara, and he has killed Hiranyakashipu in the form of Narsimha. That Prahlad Maharaj story we have we learned in the previous class, and he has cheated Maharaja Bali in the form of Vaman Avatara in the form of a dwarf, and he has annihilated all the dynasties of Kshatriyas in the form of a Parshurama Avatara, and he has killed all the demons in the form of Lord Rama, which we have discussed previously, and accepted the great law in the form of Balarama, and he has annihilated all the aesthetic persons in the form of a Kalki that we'll be learning after this session, and he has saved all the poor animals in the form of Lord Buddha. Okay. So, yeah, anybody from the audience have idea? Like you must have heard or learned about Lord Buddha in your school age, social studies, maybe after that also. Any input from the audience? Hare Krishna.
Yes, we have learned about the 8 preachings of Lord Buddha, 8, or I don't remember exactly. One of them is the, what you call that, non-violence. Non-violence is one of the teachings of Lord Buddha.
Yes. Yes, Anuradha Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, am I audible?
Yes, yes, Mataji.
Yeah, like I was a practitioner of Nichiren Buddhism for 6-7 years before coming to ISKCON. So like it's as Prabhuji says, exactly like Shakyamuni Buddha came to this world so that because animals were killed, such time was there. But only thing is that everybody get away from Vedas. So for that, that's what the next incarnation happened. But Lord Buddha's incarnation is basically to not to let understand people that this is a sin whenever we kill anybody. And his process is basically totally on silence, meditation, and Shakyamuni Buddha's principle are basically choosing the middle way, not on the extreme path, but there is always a middle way. Be calm, travel. There is more about meditation, aligning with yourself, going towards your inner self. That's how like they are into. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much for your inputs, Mataji. So there are, these are some of the descriptions of the incarnation emanating from Krishna's and from Srimad Bhagavatam. It is understood that innumerable incarnations are always coming out from the body of Krishna, just like a wave in the ocean. Okay, no one can even count how many waves there are. And similarly, no one can count how many incarnations are coming from the Lord's body. So Lord Buddha is one among them. And so a lot of Vedic scriptures has the reference that Lord Buddha is an incarnation of Lord Krishna. It's there in Srimad Bhagavatam, Harivamsha, and Garuda Purana and Vishnu Purana. Okay, so which we will come to know in our next coming slides. Yeah, I wanted one devotee volunteer to read this.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Nectar of Devotion. Lord Buddha is accepted as an incarnation of Krishna in the Srimad Bhagavatam, but the same Srimad Bhagavatam. It is stated that Lord Buddha appeared in order to bewilder the atheistic class of men. Therefore, his philosophy is meant for bewildering the atheist and should not be accepted. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So something is good, but it is not to the extent of doing the Krishna conscious service. Okay. Yeah. Hare Krishna. Any other devotee? They wanted to volunteer to read this sloka?
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yes, Mataji.
Then in the beginning of Kali Yuga, the Lord will appear as Lord Buddha, the son of Anjana, in the province of Gaya, just for the purpose of deluding those who are envious of the faithful theist.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
So,
Krishna.
yeah, this is again comes with a different philosophy. Okay. But, the rapid shift, he was totally protected. You know, the story of Gautam Buddha. He was totally protected and very protective parents were there. And all services to his doorstep and to his food. But, when he has gone out and he has seen all the suffering and all, so he has taken a major step towards non-violence and the peace and various principles we have laid down. Now it has been spread across the Oriental countries, I can say, part of, I think, the Bihar and the Seven Sisters Then comes your China and all. It's totally goes with the philosophy. Okay. So when the atheist, after being well versed in the Vedic scientific knowledge, annihilate inhabitants of the different planets, flying unseen in the sky on the well-built rockets prepared by the great scientist, Maya, the Lord will bewilder their minds by dressing himself attractively as Buddha and will preach on sub-religion principles. Okay. Yeah.
Read Mataji.
Yes, please.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
To diminish the burden of the earth, the unborn Lord will take birth in the Yadu dynasty and perform feasts impossible even for the demigods. Propounding speculative philosophy, the Lord as Buddha will bewilder the unworthy performance of Vedic sacrifices. And as Kalki, the Lord will kill all the low class. Sorry.
Excuse me, Hare Krishna. Yeah. Yeah, as Kalki, the Lord will kill all the low class men.
1 minute, Mataji. Not come to me. Sorry, I'm not able to get. Please continue.
Okay. So as the Kalki, the Lord will kill all the low class men posing as the rulers at the end of the age of Kali. Okay. I just wanted to open the Srimad Bhagavatam Prabhu. We will read once. Okay. Hare Krishna. The same thing it has been, yeah. Same thing. He removed the burden of the earth in the form of Buddha by his argumentative preaching in the defense of Vedas. Okay. He bewildered the demons who were unqualified to perform sacrifices, and at the end of Kali Yuga, he will destroy the Shudra kings in the form of the Kalki. Okay. Hare Krishna. Hope it is visible now. Yeah.
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah. So that is as per Srimad Bhagavatam. So as per Harivamsha, what it is written here? Yes, somebody please volunteer to read this.
I'll continue.
Yes, Prabhu.
In the future avatars, Buddha will appear first. Then there will be a famous avatar called Kalki. Also will be known as Vishnu Shaya. Lord Vishnu will appear as Brahmana in Shamal village for the welfare of this universe.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Krishna.
Hare.
So as per Garuda Purana, Brahma Moksha Kanda, so chapter 15 again. Kalo Sampravrate Harishtu Sammohanantam Chashuranam Kagendraha. So the name of Buddha is Veda Pramanam Nirakara Tumeva. Okay, then in the age, then in the Kali age, the Lord was born in the Kikatas as Buddha. He deluded the Asuras and floated the Vedas. You see, whenever there is a rise of irreligion, the Dharma is getting lost. So the Lord will appear to reestablish. And what did Lord Buddha reestablish the, like how he reestablished the Dharma? He has totally brought peace in that province, isn't it right? And he has laid down certain principles by which they follow and they go further. Okay, so what exactly is written in Garuda Purana Preta Kanda chapter 30 is that Matsyam Karmam Cha Varaham Narasimha Asra Vamanam Ramram Cha Krishnam Cha Putham Chaiva Shakal Kinam Etani Dashe Namani Smartavyani, all what is this? Smartavyani Alvai Buddhai. So the name of the 10 incarnations of the Lord, that is Matsya Kurma Varaha, Narsimha, Sri Rama, Parashurama, Krishna, Buddha, and Kalki shall remembered always. Okay. It's not much about this. So Parasara said, Parasara is the father of Vyasadeva, and he is saying in this manner, exclaiming to them, Buddhavyam, then replying, it is known as Buddhyati. These Daityas were induced by Arch Deceiver to deviate from their religious deities, so to become Buddhas. By his repeated arguments and variously argued persuasions, when they abandoned their own faith, they persuaded others to do the same, and hereby spread any deserted practices enjoyed by the Vedas and the laws. So gist of this, what I can say, this is another incarnation of Lord Krishna, like as the what do you say, the waves of water. So this is another incarnation. Whenever there is a rise in irreligion and there is adharma, Lord will appear. And this is with reference to the people who are atheist, and re-establish the principles. And now the Buddhism is famous, but it is not as the same principles like how we follow in the Krishna consciousness. Hare Krishna. I think I will take the Kalki Avatara. Okay. Hope it is visible now. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Mataji, it is visible.
Yeah. Yes. Please volunteer to read, Ma.
Hare Krishna. Sukadeva Goswami said, then, O king, religion, truthfulness, cleanliness, tolerance, mercy, duration of life, physical strength, and memory will all diminish day by day because of the powerful influence of the age of Kali. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So, how do you know the Kali Yuga has come? What are the signs that we have entered the Kali Yuga? What exactly will be predominant?
Conflicts. Irreligion, conflicts.
If you remember,
no tolerance.
If you remember in a level 1 class, we said in Satya Yuga, the war is between 2 different planets. In Dwapar Yuga, between 2 different countries. In Treta Yuga, it is between the brothers, and in Kali Yuga, it is
within the same person.
Yes, yes. Yes, Mataji, please continue what you were saying. How do you say that Kali Yuga has come?
There is adharma. People are intolerant. People are spreading violence.
Yeah. See, in first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, when Parikshit Maharaj will go on for a hunting, he will find a cow which is having only a single leg. So he'll feel very pity for that cow, and he will ask the cow, who made you this situation, and how come you're standing on only one leg and not supported by other limbs and all? So then, can somebody say, what is that cow?
The cow replied, it is all because of Kali.
Yeah, it is the dharma. Okay, in Kali Yuga, dharma is on single leg. Okay, so the Kali will come and it will try to disturb and trouble the cow. But Lord, what will Parikshit Maharaj will say to that Kali Purusha? He will say, there are so many people who are unrighteous, who are engaged in gambling, who are greedy towards the wealth, who are busy accumulating the gold and all, why don't you go to them and grab them? So leave this poor cow. So like that, he will divert the Kali. Okay. So whenever, in our day-to-day life, if we are committing any sort of sinful reaction, so indirectly we are appealing the Kali. So we are acting according to him. So he will be there right with us, want us to lure us to get into the trap of all this sense enjoyment. And the moment we get affected for all that, and then he will not leave any stone unturned to drag us into the materialism, and there starts the downfall. Okay. So in Kali Yuga, when this is rampant, we are not in the Satya Yuga, Dwapara Yuga, Treta Yuga. So day by day, the situation go worsening, because the Kali will be happily roaming, and happily he will induce that thoughts, Maya, into every individual, and he enjoys that. So again, there is a rise in irreligion, isn't it right? So somewhere it has to be slain, and you need an avatara. So we will see what the Kalki avatara does. In Kali Yuga, wealth alone will be considered as a signs of man's good birth, proper behavior, and fine qualities. And law and justice will be applied only on the basis of one's power. Isn't it right? So nowadays, anybody, whether they wanted to study, they wanted to do something because they wanted to become wealthy, because the yardstick in the present society is only the money. Okay. Nobody is bothered about the ethics, the cultural background, and all those things. Okay. And people who are powerful, they wanted to, that is a sign of a success. Okay. And the man will be known as a Brahmana just by wearing a thread. So otherwise, what a good qualities a Brahmana should have, all those is lost. Okay. Hare Krishna. I wanted one devotee volunteer to read this.
Yes,
Hare
Mataji.
Krishna Mataji. Filling the belly will become the goal of life. He who can maintain a family will be regarded as an expert man. The principles of religion will be observed only for the sake of reputation. As the earth thus becomes crowded with a corrupt population, whoever among any of the social classes show himself to be the strongest will gain political power, losing their wives and properties to such avaricious and merciless rulers who will behave no better than ordinary thieves, that citizens will flee to the mountains and forests. Hare Krishna Mataji.
So I think nowadays we are seeing all these things, no? Hare Krishna.
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah. Somebody please volunteer to read this.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Harassed by famine and excessive taxes, people will resort to eating leaves, roots, flesh, wild honey, fruits, flowers, and seeds. Struck by drought, they will become completely ruined. The citizens will suffer greatly from cold, wind, heat, rain, and snow. They will be further tormented by quarrels, hunger, thirst, disease, and severe anxiety. The maximum duration of life for the human beings in Kali Yuga will become 50 years.
Yeah, see
Hare-
how horrible it is to read also, isn't it?
Yes, Mataji.
So unless we try to save our nature and we turn towards restoring our ecosystem, it is next to impossible for us to survive. Maybe our future generation will find it very, very difficult. So by the time the age of Kali ends, the body of all the creatures will be greatly reduced in size, and the religious principles of followers of Varnashrama will be ruined. The path of Vedas will be completely forgotten in the human society, and so-called religion will be mostly atheistic. Okay, the kings will mostly be thieves, and occupation of men will be stealing, lying, needless violence. All the social classes will be reduced to the lower level of the Sudras. Cow will be like a goat. Spiritual heritages will be no different from the mundane houses. So This is the horrible situation we are going to see in the extreme Kali Yuga. So we are just in the beginning. As the days passes, all these things are going to come. And family ties will extend no further than the immediate bonds of marriage. Yeah, this has already in place now. And most plants and herb will be tiny, and all trees appears like a dwarf trees, and clouds will be full of lightning. Okay, all human beings will become like an asses. Okay, so yeah. At that time, the Supreme Personality of the Godhead will appear on the earth, acting with the power of a pure spiritual goodness. He will rescue eternal religion. Lord Vishnu, the Supreme Personality of the Godhead, the spiritual master of all moving and non-moving living entities, and the Supreme Soul of all, takes birth to protect the principles of religion and to relieve his saintly devotees from the reactions of the material world. So when these irreligious things appear and there is rise in religion, then the Kalki Avatara will appear to slay all these irregular activities and irreligious activity and bring back everything to the normalcy. Okay. Yeah. Hare Krishna. Another devotee volunteer, please read this.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Thereafter, at the end of Kali Yuga, when there exist no topics on the subject of God, even at the residences of so-called saints and respectable gentlemen of the three higher castes, and when the power of government is transferred to the hands of ministers elected from the low-born Shudra class or those less than them, and when nothing is known of the techniques of sacrifice, even by word, at that time the Lord will appear as a supreme chastiser. Purport. The symptom of the worst conditions of the material world at the last stage of this age, called Kali Yuga, are stated herein. The sum and substance of such conditions is godlessness. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Totally godlessness when it comes. Then Kali Purusha will come to re-establish the Dharma. So Lord Kalki will appear in the home of a most eminent Brahmana of the Shambhala village, the great soul, Vishnu Vyasa. Okay. So Lord Kalki, the Lord of Universe, will mount his swift horse, Devadatta, and sword in hand, travel over the earth, exhibiting his 8 mystic opulences, the 8 special qualities of the Godhead. Displaying his unequaled effulgence and riding with a great speed, he will kill the million those thieves who have dated dressed as king. And these verses describe the thrilling pastimes of Lord Kalki. Yeah. Hare Krishna, please volunteer to read this.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yeah, Anuradha Mataji, please.
After all the impostor kings have been killed, the residents of the cities and towns will feel the breezes carrying the most sacred fragrance of the sandalwood paste and other decorations of Lord Vasudeva, and their minds will thereby become transcendental and pure. When Lord Vasudeva, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, appears in their hearts, his transcendental form of goodness, the remaining citizens will be abundantly repopulate the earth. When the Supreme Lord has appeared on earth as Kalki, the maintainer of religion, Satyuga will begin and human society will bring forth progeny in the mode of goodness. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So that is at the end when there is no godlessness, Lord will come. If you remember in the 4th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Lord will say, whenever there is rising a religion, I appear and re-establish the lost connection and revive back everything and re-establish, then I leave. So similarly, here also, Lord Kalki will maintain everything. He'll revive back what all has been lost and he'll bring back everything to normalcy. Then the Satya Yuga begin. Then the human society will bring forth the pujan in the mode of a goodness. Hare Krishna. How to identify an incarnation? Yeah. Kanchan Mataji, you can read.
Hare Krishna Mataji. How to identify an incarnation? Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu replied, as in other ages, an incarnation is accepted according to the directions of the Shastras. In this age of Kali, an incarnation of God should be accepted in the way. An actual incarnation of God never says, I am God, or I am an incarnation of God. The great sage Vyasadeva, knowing all, has already recorded the characteristics of the avatars in the Shastras. The Lord does not have a material body, yet he descends among human beings in his transcendental body as an incarnation. Therefore, it is very difficult for us to understand who is an incarnation. Only by his extraordinary
Prowess.
prowess and uncommon activities, which are impossible for embodied living entities, can one partially understand the incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. If you go see, the 10th chapter is all about the pastime of Lord Krishna. So he's a childhood friend for the Gopabalas, and he's Lord Krishna, the great devotee for all the Gopikas, and he's a son for Yashoda, Nanda Maharaj, Devaki, Vasudeva. So likewise, he is among us, but he has come in a spiritual body. Any point of time, if you see, Lord Krishna will not look more than 16 years of age, isn't it? So they don't come here in a material body. So only their pastimes will make us realize that these are not ordinary individuals, and they are and the Lord has descended to restore everything here. Okay. Mlecha nivaha nidhane kalayasi karavalam dhumakitumiva kim papikaralam Keshavadrita Kaliki Sharira Jai Jagadisha Hare. So Keshava, Lord of Universe, O Lord Hari, who have assumed the form of Kalki, all glories to you. You appear like a comet and carrying a terrific sword for bringing about the annihilation of the wicked barbarian men at the end of the Kali Yuga. Okay. So, but this is the extremes. This is yet to come and all. But now that we are in the beginning of Kali Yuga, and the dharma of Kali Yuga is to chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, we should continue to do that and do our dharma and serve Krishna. Then Krishna will take care of everything. So please chant Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare.
Ram Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna. Any doubts? From next week onwards, we'll be starting on the Srimad Bhagavatam prayers. Yes, somebody.
Mataji,
Yes.
Mataji, what is the place, Mataji, again? Which part of the region that Kali would descend?
Kambala. It is somewhere, I think, central India, or I don't know. Even I have to look for it.
Okay.
Yeah, Sambala, they said, no?
Yeah, Sambhala, yeah.
Kambala village. I'm thinking somewhere near Jharkhand or maybe central India, central belt.
MP. Okay.
Yeah.
Mataji, you are mentioning about from next week we have Bhagavatam prayers. What exactly you mean by that, Mataji?
Yeah, Kunti Stuti and what do you say?
So do we read those books, or is it just
No, not required, not required. I'm just informing you that you will have a PPT discussion just like this only.
No, I mean to say, will we discuss about the book, you know, the Kunti teachings and something like that? Is it what you are telling us?
Oh no, say Kunti prayers will be there in first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay.
Okay.
So I think only few verses will be important verses will be taken, and you will discuss about it. What exactly are the prayers?
Okay, sure. Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
And Mataji, one other question is about the Kali avatar. So, do we know approximately when?
They have given the symptoms and all. Like I think the lifespan of human being will come to 50 years. So now people are living 100 years. So now it has not come.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Few more years, few more millennium to go, I think.
Wow. Okay. It's a long time. We may not see it, right, Mataji?
Hope we should not see that. Yeah, it's so scary to read only, I don't want to be in that situation at all.
Even the present day is almost like that, right, Mataji? So much conflict within self, within family, within everywhere.
Famine, all these things are not there, and still we see we are all attending Gita classes, we are reading Bhagavad,
Right.
and there is a religion is still existing. So that is a stage of extreme irreligion, the godless people there. So scary to read.
Yeah. Right. But Mataji, I've heard, and I'm not sure if you have, I've heard from some other organizations where they say if the conscious level of humans, if it's risen to a certain level, if it's a high consciousness, where they're doing bhakti and devotional services and contemplation about God and stuff like that, if there is a certain number of humans who are doing, they can make that shift, that change in certain things, like they can uphold dharma to a certain extent. Is that true? Have you heard this anywhere?
Yes.
Mm.
Because good conscious people are the devotees, I can say, because they're always in the mode of a goodness and they're trying to improve on that. So definitely whosoever come in contact with the devotee will be benefited.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Okay. Any more questions? If there are no more questions, I think we will end the session for today.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Thank
Hare
you.
Krishna Mataji, thank you.
Vacha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Thank you, co-host and participants, for your active participation. See you all on next week. Hare Krishna.